to the Active Podcast. It's been a magnificent week for me. As you can see, I'm in great spirits. I'm wearing red, but no Arsenal shirt. Not yet. How are you guys doing? How are you, Ewan? Are you okay?
Mate, I don't like Boxing Day.
It's beautiful. Anything can happen. The magic continues. It's no 1960.
Do you know what's mad? What's mad? What happened Do you remember what happened last year with Chelsea on Boxing Day?
No. Was it Arsenal Chelsea last?
No, it was Southampton, and we lost.
Southampton. I remember that game. That was a nasty one.
It just Boxing Day doesn't work with Chelsea.
The thing is, as well, is because you're a Champions League team, and you also had some very young players, you had a very young squad. I mean, getting through the Christmas period is difficult. You guys are playing tomorrow, and you got 1 day, you got 2 days rest, and then you're playing Villa.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
That's crazy.
I'd love to use that as an
Villa are gonna send.
The thing is, last episode I said that was the excuse. Fatigue kicked in. I don't think we can use that this time. I don't think Lampard could have done anything different. I think it was just the team. They just weren't. They were slow to start. Misplaced passes. I mean, we are the biggest threat from corners. We are the biggest threat in the Prem from corners at the minute.
You didn't play the guy who's the most threat. Tammy Abraham isn't the best.
No, but Zuma is. Zuma's the one that scores the goals from corners. But Mount.
He does.
But Mount couldn't. Mount just straight up couldn't cross it in. He was struggling. Kante couldn't pass a ball. And everything was slow, really slow and sloppy. And I honestly just, it was a shambolic performance. We can't play like that as Chelsea, and we just straight up didn't deserve to win that game.
You didn't.
I mean, if the game was 10 minutes long and it was the last 10 minutes, sure, we deserved to win it, but that was about it, really. I don't think we did anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we actually had you smothered. I think I don't really know why though, because even in such a poor form, I think having players who fought a bit more was more beneficial for our youngsters.
I mean, I think saying that Arsenal played really well is I personally don't think that's the correct things to use.
Yeah, but you're gonna say that, aren't you? Because you lost.
No, but I genuinely think it was down to how bad Chelsea were. I think if you would have played against us, or let's take us out of the equation. If you would have played against a Liverpool, Man City team, I think you'd have been not battered, but you would have been beaten. I just purely think, or even a Tottenham team.
I disagree, because I think if you look at some of the attacking players like Martinelli, even against other clubs, he performs. He has energy and tenacity, and Smith Rowe did the same thing. He kept finding pockets. I think he'll do that against any club.
You do know we had the same amount of shots. In fact, Chelsea had more shots. We had more possession.
No, you didn't. You had more possession, but your chances in your attempts wasn't anywhere near close to what we had. And you had no creativity. There was no creativity on our side whatsoever.
No, and I've said this before. We're missing Ziyech. We are missing Ziyech massively.
And where's Havertz? Havertz has gone missing. You can't deny now.
Oh no, I'm not denying it, but
we're almost halfway now, and he hasn't been anywhere near how he was at Leverkusen at all.
No, I think
it's a bit worrying. 2 goals.
It is, but
2 assists, 1 goal.
Look how young he is, and also you can't. He was very ill halfway through the time, and he was getting used. If you look from his period before he got ill to at the start of the season, if you look at that period, he was progressing and he was getting better and better, and then he got really ill. And don't forget how punishing COVID is on players, especially slow COVID. Like it's a massive.
Yeah, okay, I can understand what you're saying, but I think the problem is, I don't think the problem is Havertz. I think the problem is Lampard. I think we're starting to see him as a fraud. I think not fraud. I don't want to say fraud, but
I think you're trying to get me to buy it. That's what I think.
I don't.
I think you're trying to get me to bite at something here. That's what I think.
No, I've already tried this. But what I'm saying is that in his position, the position he's playing in, he's playing Havertz very deep.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with that.
A number 8 or a number 6 even, and he's meant to be like a number 10 really. And then that's why he's not really creating chances.
I agree.
His first game, you played him on the right wing.
Yeah, but that's because but he can play there, and we didn't have a winger at the time.
he had his best time. His best time at Leverkusen was up front in midfield.
Yeah, but
that's where he
I think the biggest problem for Lampard is you've got Mason Mount that at the minute is one of the most influential people in the Chelsea team that really can kickstart either a comeback or kickstart an attack. So you kind of need him in the team. Which at that point, how do you put Havertz in that team? We've kind of got two play. We have got a CDM, a centre mid, and a cam. And I've said this to you guys before. It doesn't work. You cannot play a centre. Like you can't play all three. It's just not a formation. You can't play a line. You can't play a line in midfield.
No, what a CDM? What like a number 6, 8, and a 10?
Yeah.
In the midfield, you can do that. Of course you can. That's how most midfields are made of. Because you have someone to join it. You have a box to box. You have a more defensive minded midfielder, and then you have an attacking midfielder, and then you have sort of someone for every sort of scenario. Your box to box and your CDM come back a bit more. Your box to box creates the attack, and then your number 10 feeds the attack. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you can do it. It's just that you're not playing your number 10 as a number 10, are you?
No, I think where I'm trying to look at it is I don't want to be criticising Havertz constantly because that's not going to help him at all, is it really? I mean, all the keyboard warriors out there going, Havertz is rubbish. That's not going to help his confidence.
Yeah, we know Havertz is a big fan of the Active podcast.
Well, yeah, but it's expecting. I mean, yeah, we paid what 70-something mil for him. Yeah, you expect for that price someone that can come in straight away. But no, we've bought him now for an investment. I mean, he's got at least what is he 21? Older than that? Something like that? I don't know.
About 21. I think it's 21.
I will find out quickly. But you can't bring him in and expect everything straight away. He's got at least 6 years till his prime.
The problem is that but the thing is when you've paid that amount of money, same thing happened with Pepe. I mean, Pepe didn't have a shocking season last season, but when you paid £77 million for him, you kind of expect a decent return in your first season. That's not.
You do, but at the same time,
but that's not a long-term prospect signing.
But how many players have came to the Prem? But how many players have came to the Prem, not doing well, left, came back and been amazing, or next season they're stunning? I mean, best example, Mohamed Salah.
How much was Mohamed Salah bought for? Like 40 mil.
It was 36, but it's a good example. He couldn't prove himself in the Prem though. Look at
half the transfer.
No, I know, but look at it. He came to the Premier League, right? He wasn't ready. No one thought if he came back, he was going to be a flop. He came back, and yeah, Liverpool took the gamble of he could have been bad or not, which is why they paid the 36 because he's already played in the Prem.
What's your point though?
My point is he's young. You can't expect him to be all singing or dancing straight away. He's got to progress.
No, that isn't the argument I'm making. Yes, he's young, but you've also spent £70 million, and if you spend £70 million on someone, you kind of expect them to be pretty decent already.
Well, I mean, I don't think Chelsea do. We paid 70 mil for flipping Kepa, and he wasn't great. So I think we.
Yeah, but that could be down to your spending. I won't lie. People do. I think a lot of clubs take you for absolute mugs now because of how much money you spend on players like Kepa and Havertz, and they'll drive up the price just because you're Chelsea. It's a Chelsea tax, and the tax is like £40 million, no matter what.
I mean, I have faith that. I mean, this is going to come back to bite me, but I have faith that Havertz will perform eventually when he gets in the right position.
I hope he does. I hope he starts to.
But either way, he wasn't the reason we lost to you because he didn't exactly play.
Yeah, not really.
I think Werner.
Penalty miss was shocking. Werner is okay. Can we stop pretending that Werner is like a good striker? Well, not a bad.
No, you can't. You can't say that.
He's not a very good left winger.
Exactly. You can. Yeah, I agree with that. You can't say he's not a good striker. He's a proven striker.
This is what I'm saying about Lampard's coaching. The fact that you're still playing on the left wing and there's nothing happening up front anyway. You should have started Giroud in that game. Giroud should have had the start.
I'm against you with that.
Or he should have come on. He didn't even come on.
See,
Tammy Abraham scored.
I kind of disagree with it because, like, Abraham, he did score.
Yeah, and he scored 2 goals last game. Yeah, Lampard plays on merit.
I don't think Abraham wasn't
that is that the amount of crosses you had in that game, that Abraham's ability in the air is very questionable.
I agree, but you've also
he isn't good in the air, but you were playing the game as if he is. You were doing so many. The amount of times you whip the ball in,
But he scored from a cross.
Like, and nothing,
the way we scored was from a cross.
Yeah, a low cross though. He didn't even use his head.
Yeah,
he used
but
his chest.
it's getting it in
wasn't
the
a
right
header.
position and get. I mean, he didn't actually have a clean header where it was perfect for him to header it in. They were behind him or this and that. I mean, at the end of the day, the two mistakes I think that were made in that game was playing Chilwell and Reece James. Both were injured. Somehow they've miraculously. Reece James was meant to be having knee surgery about a week ago.
He's been your best player though.
He's playing. So it's. And I'm sorry, but Jorginho has to go. I'm sorry. I don't care. I didn't. Just get him gone.
Oh my God.
Do
you know what?
Bring in Declan Rice as a just get him gone. I don't like him. I don't like his penalty kicks. Even when he was scoring them, I didn't like him. Because all it takes is a keeper just to go, wait, let me just wait an extra second and I'll work out where it's going.
Everyone knows how he does it now because he's your number one penalty taker.
The difference, but there's two people that take penalties the same way in the Prem. We've got Bruno Fernandes and Jorginho. Bruno Fernandes works because of the amount of power he gets on it. Right.
Yeah, there was no power on
Jorginho's never does. The only way Jorginho scores is if it's perfectly in the corner, like at the point where the keeper just cannot get there.
He just has to guess right. If the keeper gets right, as well. But I know what you mean.
So and this is why I honestly don't think he'll be taking many penalties for us, and that's if he makes it past the January transfer.
If somebody else had taken that penalty, you probably would have got a draw out of it because they would have scored it, and then you would have had the momentum.
I honestly think that was, but at the same time, I mean, we're having keeper problems again, which isn't great.
No, I wouldn't say you're having keeper problems. I just didn't have a good game. Don't forget Edward made one of the best starts, but I mean, it's a penalty. He couldn't save it.
No, the penalty.
Xhaka's free kick. He was not.
No. It was the last one.
Xhaka's goal was like.
See, I mean,
it's
a bit of a fluke, isn't it? I mean.
He didn't mean to shoot.
Xhaka said he meant it, but I don't believe it.
Excuse me, I will reject the notion that was a fluke. That was completely calculated. When you see that from a long shot,
he tried an Adama. He tried an Adama.
It actually looks like such a sick goal.
No, don't get me wrong, it's a sick goal, but he didn't mean it. He tried to cross that into the back post. Is what he tried to do.
Yeah, he 100% did. He did. I won't lie because he used his right foot and he's left-footed, and he just shagged everything.
But that should be a catch for Mendy. Every day of the week.
It was too high.
If you're seeing someone in that position and you're expecting them to cross it, and then it does that, it's for one thing. It's caught him by surprise, so that makes it a bit more difficult for him. And it is the way it loops over him. It's a difficult one. I think it looks worse than it actually is.
Did you see the photo put on the group chat of his face after it went in?
He looked like he'd scored it. It looked like he'd scored it in that position. It looked like he just battered it into the back of the goal.
Genuinely shocked.
But it's just.
I can understand.
But thankfully, it's been a bad week in terms of our result. But once again, the lower teams in the table have came clutch and got results out of the big teams. It happens every time.
Saved you a little bit.
Crazy.
A draw for Spurs, a draw for Liverpool.
But it happens every time. It's actually mad. Like if you actually look at every time Chelsea have lost or a big team have lost, the other teams just draw. Like that's why it's so close. Is because
you got very lucky.
But I don't even want to watch the game tomorrow.
Do you want to talk about the Wolves game a little bit, or should you just go straight to
I'm happy to just give it a quick couple minutes. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Can I support a player instead? Is that possible? Can I support Podence and Pulisic? Can I just support those two?
I tell you what, Pulisic in that game was quality.
He was really good.
When he worked into the box and we couldn't dribble, we couldn't tackle him. You can't get the ball off him.
He's mental. He's mental. And I think imagine if he hadn't had those injuries. Imagine if he hadn't had those injuries and he'd constantly been playing.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. It's just we need Ziyech back just for those two on the wing. Just magicians.
Have you played both of them?
No, we've never played with both of them in the team, which is mental. So,
that's what you want to see.
So and then potentially we'll talk about transfers, a big transfer target for Chelsea in a bit. But
another one.
Yeah, well, the biggest one, potentially a title grabber.
Wow.
But we've got Tammy Abraham that's meant to be the aerial threat, and we've got Timo Werner that can run in on those passes or run in with Pulisic. So it'd be interesting to see those lot up top. But yeah, we'll talk about the big transfer news about Chelsea. after the Wolves there.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll
Yeah,
give it a couple minutes for the game that we've just finished watching, the Spurs Wolves game. It's a game. It's basically a game of about 5 collective minutes. Like the entire middle part of the game, you can just ignore it. Nothing happened. It's just the first minute and then the last few minutes for us. Like, they literally scored within the first minute. And by the way, Patricio's got to be saving that. I don't care if he's a bit unsighted, but he's got to save that.
What makes me laugh is he was unsighted, so he stepped right, which is away from the ball, to look for the ball.
It was weird. It's like it's
It's starting to show his age, doesn't it? Really slowing down as a quality keeper.
I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't know whether.
How old is he?
How old is he? He's 32. It's not like he's old for a goalkeeper. It's pretty much like 28 to like 32, 33. That's pretty much a goalkeeper's prime years.
I just think he's having a couple of stinkers recently.
He's certainly looked a little less reliable this season. You could basically rely on him not to do anything really stupid.
But keepers
for the last 2 seasons. But for the most part this season, he's been the same solid, reliable keeper he's always been, and then he's just had a couple, like 2 or 3 slightly uncharacteristic mistakes where he should have saved something and he didn't. But I'm not worried about his performances. I'm not thinking, oh no, maybe we need to start thinking about signing a new keeper, signing a replacement. I'm not gonna get aboard that panic train.
I think. Well, I don't. It's not even a confidence drop. It's just really weird.
It's just like a freak. It's just like a freak accident. That's it's not really explainable.
I think you get worried if he does it a lot more.
Yeah, if it becomes more consistent and more common, that's when you start to get worried. But considering other than these couple of mistakes, he's put in consistently strong performances, that I'm not particularly concerned about it.
Yeah.
But what I am concerned about is our goal scoring ability, because we can't put it in the back of the net. I mean,
you need Jimenez right now.
What
is going on with him actually? What is the situation?
I don't reckon he'll be back.
Nobody knows. I don't think it'll be soon, to be honest. I think it'll be a few months at least. But
I'm not going to lie.
I think he will be back. I do. I have faith that he will come
really,
back.
I think you could write off the season, to be honest. With him.
It's possible.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a. The thing is as well with nowadays with the heading stuff and how much I think they'll really try to look into it properly and make sure he's 100%. Because the worst thing you could do is bring him back, he headers a ball, and all of a sudden he's down on the ground again. He's not looking great again. But at the same time, you're expecting a really young player that's came to the Premier League to score goals, which is going to be difficult.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming Fabio Silva for this, at all. He's been thrust into it when that wasn't the intention. It wasn't the plan for him to suddenly be our starting striker, and he's obviously not ready. Physically he's struggling, which is obvious. Although you can tell that once he knows how to position his body and use his body to hold up the ball. So once he does fill out and become stronger, then I reckon he could actually be really, really good at that.
Thing is, it could. You say it's the wrong time. If you say play him for the next season, he doesn't do great, but he's learning. I mean, look how much he's learned from the first game he came on. I mean, against Arsenal.
This is going to be beneficial for him. This whole thing. This is going to be good for him. He's going to learn very quickly how physical the Premier League is, what it's like to play, what level you have to be at. So it's good for him. It's not necessarily good for us because, while he physically and mentally adapts to the league, we're going to struggle for goals. But he's obviously got a lot of talent. His positioning is quickly improving. His sharpness in terms of getting into good positions in the box. It's when he first joined us, he was a little bit like a step behind, but he's quickly improving on that and he's getting himself into good positions.
So you can ask, really, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think he still lacks a little bit of composure in front of goal. Particularly, there was the last chance late on in the game, an amazing pass from Neves, and he really should have done better with that.
I mean, to be fair, it was a last second kind of, oh flip, it's actually coming to me, because originally didn't stick it to it.
Yeah, but
I
that's
bet you wish you still had Catrone or someone like that now, because I know he wasn't good, but if you were forced to play anybody, I feel like Catrone would have been a better striker to use. He's got a bit more experience.
Yeah.
He's scored goals in the Prem already.
yeah. I mean, Catrone. Just to have another striker, you know.
Yeah, I think a
and-
three strikers is typically what
Yeah,
you
that's what
kind
you
of
want. Yeah,
Um,
but it's. I mean, with us, with Wolves, it's like it's okay when we having two strikers because Jimenez 100% of the time plays, and then you've got like a young backup who can learn from him, and that's fine. But when suddenly you've got an injury and there's no one else except Fabio Silva, that's when it becomes a problem, obviously. And it's never been a problem before because Jimenez has never had a major injury before. But
yeah. I
all
mean,
of a sudden, this like freak incident happens and it kind of throws everything up in the air.
yeah,
That ruins it.
it's an interesting one, but I mean, how long do you reckon you can keep on keep hold of Neto? Because the Liverpool fans are already eyeing him up.
Oh, of course they are. I know.
They really win him.
Hey,
Of
they're
course they do.
turning you into the next Southampton. Liverpool fans are.
Yeah, well, we'll rinse them for a pretty penny if they come for Pedro Neto. That's for sure.
See, the
But
thing
Has he got
is,
time in his contract?
He's got plenty of time in his contract. I think he's just signed. In fact, he just signed a new contract like a month ago. It's 5-6 years on that. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I think
we've got all the power in that situation.
See, I personally think that Southampton made a bit of a mistake selling them. The players they sold. I reckon if you keep hold of Neto, you'll do better off
Yeah,
than
that's the
just
thing.
earning the money.
To be fair, it's kind of
Southampton didn't have any power.
it's
though.
kind of
They needed
easy
the
to
money.
say that when you look at it in hindsight, you say, "Oh, Southampton, they shouldn't have sold anybody.
Yeah, I
they would be a
suppose
Premier
it was
League winning
that.
team." But you know,
It's the same with Chelsea.
Like
There's
when,
no way Mane was going to stay at Southampton.
Yeah,
Same
like-
with Chelsea, I suppose, as well. We could have had De Bruyne and Salah in our team.
yeah, exactly. But at the time,
Yeah, but you also had Mourinho.
at the
as a
time,
manager, and he
you
wasn't good
wouldn't,
enough for them.
you couldn't see that they were going to become arguably the two best players in the league. So
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
difference with that is Neto is doing it right now,
yeah,
whereas
But,
Salah
like-
and De Bruyne weren't doing it back then.
But
Like,
we're in a slightly different position to Southampton in that we have almost endless financial resources because our owners are so rich, where Southampton's weren't really, and the whole model of Southampton's club was and is built around buying players for cheap and selling them for much more. So it worked for them. Whereas that's not really our way. We want to, build a team that can compete to be in the Champions League one
Yeah.
day. So it's a bit different for us. And I think if people are going to come and try and sign our best players, then they're going to have to pay a lot of money. And that's why we haven't seen so many of our top players leave. Whereas, if this was like a Southampton, maybe you would have seen Ruben Neves leave or Neto.
Yeah,
So-
true.
Loads of love for Salah and that. I mean, they sold Højbjerg. I completely forgot they sold Højbjerg as well.
Yeah.
So like, they clearly are a selling club.
Yeah, it does make me laugh that Ruben Neves is a lot younger than what he looks. He looks like he should be retiring next year. And, like,
The
it's
thing is, you could have
ridiculous.
said
Bit
you
much.
can kind of say the same about Jota. I always think Jota looks proper old.
Yeah,
But,
true.
Yeah.
But talking about Jota and Liverpool,
Oh my god.
they drew.
they did draw. Really, I
Stinker
didn't
of
watch the
second
game,
half.
but it's I don't know. It's just
They just quickly go over
It
it.
was a Jai header. Obviously, I work with a bunch of Albion fans, so.
Wait, no, it wasn't a Jai header. It was
It was.
he kicked it into the back of the net, or didn't he?
Oh,
Am I thinking
I
of a
heard
different
it, I
game?
heard
I might be thinking of a different game. To be fair.
you might be thinking.
I
You
didn't
might
watch
be
it.
thinking of
I didn't watch
the
it.
Fulham game.
Sure.
I don't know, but
Yes, no, I am.
didn't
I
watch
am.
the game,
I apologise. I apologise.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, no, it was Liverpool. They weren't out in the first half. They just couldn't finish
Yeah.
anything.
it's a little slow, isn't it? Really.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's Allardyce ball. He's back. He's doing
Yeah,
his thing once again.
Oh, Allardyce. Big Sam.
Big Sam.
Doing the madness. I do love Allardyce ball. It's just the definition of like not Brexit ball, but just English football.
Yeah.
To a T.
Such a throwback.
It's just, yeah, it is.
But
And I think this kind of shows Liverpool aren't invincible, and it just makes the league look more and more interesting because you've got Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, all still in similar positions.
yeah, the thing is though, I think Liverpool's issue is their defence. You've got one senior centre back at the minute that's fit, that actually has just gone off injured.
Yeah.
So you can't play. I mean, look at what happened last season with Chelsea playing younger centre backs. It doesn't quite work. Centre back is a position where you have to have an old head on.
Experience.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think what they might look. They might look at buying a cheaper alternative for Matip in January, because Matip is injury prone. He's shown that he can't take the Premier League.
There's rumours that Liverpool are actually looking up Saliba for a loan deal.
Yeah,
There was like a small rumour,
I mean,
because obviously we're not playing.
would they look at Alaba on a free? Play
Yeah,
centre
but
back
they'd
for
have to
him.
pay him with ridiculous wages.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of even buying. And Liverpool aren't really known for paying a lot of like wages past 150k. I don't see it.
So,
And he's already on like 200
because obviously Alaba's linked with Chelsea at the minute.
because you could pay his wages.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you need another like older centre back such as Alaba. To be honest, I think you already have Thiago Silva. And
Thing is, Thiago Silva only has the rest of this. I don't know whether we've signed a new contract with him.
I
but
think you will. I can't see why you wouldn't give him another contract
But
extension.
the thing is with Alaba, he can play. If we don't go for Declan Rice and he pays too much, he can play in CDM.
You can play CDM.
He can play left back.
Or left back as
play
well,
centre back.
Chilwell gets injured.
He has also played a further midfielder role in a more attacking role.
Yeah.
What, sort of like a Jorginho replacement?
I mean,
no,
even
more like a
literally
centre
as
mid,
like
Kovacic
as like a centre mid or a cam. Even I could see Alaba
Yeah.
almost fitting as like a number 10. I mean, he's such a versatile player and technically
So-
gifted.
That's a potential if we go on to Chelsea transfers. But the big one that was released by a Sky Sports reporter is
Oh, yeah.
Chelsea's summer transfer targets are Declan Rice, which you know about, and a cheeky Erlang Haaland.
Ooh.
I think
Wow.
there was rumours about Haaland before the transfer window closed, I believe. But why? Honestly, why?
Replacement for
Because
Giroud.
But see, this
the
which-
problem
it
is
is a
the
bit
problem with
confusing.
the problem with that is that you've got Werner already there and you've got Abraham.
Oh no, I
already there,
agree.
Who both want to start. You can't have three strikers who are all willing to start.
I agree,
every game.
but you also, if you want to get the best out of Werner, and we've seen in the Bundesliga, you have to have someone next to him typically. So is that?
That's why you signed Havertz.
Yeah,
Is it not?
well, I mean, I'm not Lampard. I don't actually have a clue what his aim is, to be brutally honest.
I don't think Lampard has a clue what his
But-
aim is either. To be honest,
But
Doesn't seem
if
like
if
everyone
Haaland wants to go to the Prem, if we look at the teams that could afford him, well, I
They're
don't
probably the only club.
I
who
don't
can
think
these days.
Arsenal can. Tottenham have got
Alright, calm
Kane.
down. Thank you.
Well,
We could,
no,
but-
your board aren't going to pay for him. Let's be brutally honest.
No, they wouldn't.
So that's Arsenal out. Man
It
United
sounds
are
like
straight
something
up
you
out.
would do in Football Manager, Ewan. Like you would
Oh,
just
it
buy all
is.
the good players,
I did this.
you
I did
couldn't
this
fit
on Football Manager. I got Haaland on
in.
Football
You did
Manager.
this. You bought Mbappe for no reason.
Yeah.
And you never played him.
But it is. I mean, if it's a competition for Tammy Abraham to really show, right, Tammy, can you type of, I don't know. Chelsea have always had a striker competitiveness. When you had Didier Drogba, we brought strikers in to try and compete against him, and well, they couldn't. But is it a ploy to go, right? Let's get Haaland in. He's going to score us goals. Well, should do. Our strikers aren't exactly scoring much goals at the minute. Do we get him in? We cross the ball in a lot. I haven't watched Haaland that much, so I don't know how good he is at heading the ball. But
So I think,
he's
to be fair,
tall.
I mean, I would imagine Haaland's strong in the air, but Dortmund don't really play that way. So I haven't seen him
Yeah.
score many headers.
I mean, I do think that Haaland suits our style of play massively.
I mean,
but we have.
to be honest, the way Haaland is such a freak. He'd fit any team, to be honest. You can play him as a target man. You can play him as running in behind. You know,
Yeah.
whatever you want, really. The guy he's tall, ridiculously fast, an incredible finisher. I mean, he's literally got everything. So,
But the other thing is Haaland used to idolise Lampard when he was younger.
oh, really?
So
He idolized everybody. He idolized
well, yeah.
his dad's Michu. He did a Michu celebration a few months ago.
To be fair, who doesn't love Michu though?
I'm not gonna lie. There seems to be a theme.
one season.
There seems to be a theme that every time someone's linked with Chelsea, they've idolised Lampard at some point in their career.
He's a very,
Oh,
he's a
I
very,
think- yeah,
very
he was
easy
that
player to
kind of player.
idolise.
So-
One of the best midfielders in the world of the last 20, 30 years. So
So yeah,
understandable.
That's our transfers. It doesn't really go that far, really. Declan Rice is the main one, and Haaland
we've discussed
a
Rice
freak.
to Chelsea plenty of times on the podcast.
We said,
I want him. After seeing him against us, he was their best player.
I think the only one we have is like Arsenal is Wendia. I think
Yeah.
Carval's off the table, so supposedly. I hope we get Wendia. He's been very good in the Championship. He's been tearing it up.
You need one of those.
He's deserved to be there.
You need one of those like cheap players that aren't playing that well, but when they come to you, they become like a ridiculously good player type thing.
The thing is that we kind of have one. Like I think Smith Rowe is that guy, but we just don't play him enough. I think if he played really well against you guys.
I wonder if this
we
is
played
a
him,
turning point, and because it was kind of Arteta kind of really just changed up his tactics for the first time really this season. Dropped Willian, dropped Aubameyang, Smith Rowe in, all the youngsters, and
the thing
they
is
played really
though,
well. So that might be a turning point for Arsenal in the way that they set up a bit.
the thing I'm gonna what's the polite term? Basically, I don't think Arsenal played that well. As in,
say that, though,
no,
aren't you? You're
but
just
listen, right?
salty.
You're
You are salty.
no,
It's
but
okay.
listen, no. If
Honestly,
you look at your
it's all
3
right.
goals,
You can be upset.
No,
and
no.
it's okay.
No, but what
I
I'm
know
saying is,
you are salty that you've lost to a
No,
team
I am.
that has lost
I am.
the
I'm
likes of
annoyed.
Burnley and Southampton. in the last few
but
weeks.
listen,
Well,
hear me out.
honestly,
Hear me
Ewan,
out.
It's okay.
Let
bro. It's okay.
let me have my time to shine.
Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
First
Have your time.
goal.
Have your time to shine.
The first goal, I'm not going to comment on whether it's penalty or not because it's going to become.
Because it was.
We're not going there. We're not
we'll
going
be
there. We're not
debating
going
that
there.
for an
Alright,
hour.
yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. All right.
But the first goal is a penalty, which is
yeah.
categorically pretty much a 90% chance of being a goal.
Yeah.
Right? That's not a difficult
That's
one.
true, but sure, we'll say that.
We're not going off the odds. The second goal, right? Xhaka cannot do that every single time.
He's done it before though.
But-
He does
but-
it every season. He has one screen
Yeah.
in him every
Okay, so
single season,
there's his one.
and he cashed it
There's
in
his
today.
one. So you've already got a penalty that's pretty much a guaranteed goal and a freak goal that's not always going to go in.
Yeah.
And your last
yeah.
goal was luck. That's 3
No,
goals that should have
no,
gone in, and we scored.
I reject that. That was pure skill.
So-
World class.
so other than that-
Pushkas Award
other than-
2021.
Other than that, no, Richard's goal was better. Anyway, other than that, you didn't really affect Mendy. Therefore-
the other one I could
therefore-
think of would be the Martinelli
we got in his
chance.
head. Yeah.
So that's what.
Or
Yeah,
even
okay,
the
that's
El Neni chance.
that's
Oh yeah, where he hit the
crossbar.
post. Yeah, that was a good.
okay.
Yeah.
But if
I think
you
it was just in his head, in his mental.
but that's
Couldn't hack it.
out of those, that's not an all-round amazing performance that you're gonna win every single game with. Is what
Well,
I'm.
it
No, but
wasn't
it's
an amazing
more than
performance,
that.
but it was-
It's more than
it
that.
was-
It's not.
more than
I
just
don't
goal
think it's a
scoring.
turning.
Even in other things, we smothered
No,
you
but
defensively.
you-
Rob Holding
your
had-
problem-
had
no, but
Abraham back pocket.
Arsenal's
Tierney
problem-
had Reece James in his back pocket, jingling around with his keys in
Right,
his wallet.
no,
It was
but
actually
Arsenal's
sad.
right. You've said this before though. Arsenal's problem, right, isn't goals coming from set pieces. They can do that.
No, I never said that.
Their
Of course
goals
not.
are coming from
And-
from play.
And I thought about this
And
before that we
the goal they scored from
two
out
of
of
the big ones
play.
are set pieces.
Yeah, and your only goal that came from play, like whatever it's called,
Yeah,
was a
right.
fluke.
Was Saka's fluke. Yeah, okay, I
So-
understand. I understand.
So what I'm saying
Yeah,
is,
it was-
is yeah, okay, you've scored from those, but they're not always going to happen. Therefore, this is why I don't think it's a massive turning point. I mean, confidence-wise, it's going to be great for Arsenal fans. They've just beaten Chelsea, London
Yeah.
Derby, and Arsenal players. But is it confidence which you need? I think it's someone that can create
It was
chances.
a
I think-
confidence match.
I think-
I think people need to
I
understand
s-
the
I-
reality of the situation.
I definitely see what your point is. Like, it wasn't like an incredible performance for Arsenal where you can be like all of a sudden, Arsenal are back. Arteta
Yeah.
put the contract on the table, let him put whatever numbers he
Yeah,
wants.
say whatever he wants.
It's obviously it is a confidence boost for them, but if the players and the people at the club start to think, oh well, everything's fine, we've turned it around, then obviously
that's
you
what
can't
I'm,
do
that's what
that.
I'm worried about.
Um,
I'm worried that the board, because the board do this a lot, where like we might do well just before the transfer window, and then they think, oh, all right then.
Yeah.
So you don't need anybody in January. So as you were, and then we obviously do the same thing again, and then they're
Yeah.
like, why?
Yeah,
has this happened?
it's a starting point confidence wise, but a lot more needs to be done still.
yeah, but anyway,
100%.
talking about
On
players that
other
are
things that need to be done.
talking about players that are doing well.
But
What players
The
have
main
done
event.
well?
the reason you're here.
Yeah, what,
Key of the season so far.
exactly. This is going to cause a lot of arguments. It's probably going
Yes,
to take
it
the
is.
most podcast.
Prepare myself for this.
We have decided to go with a 4-2-3-1 after many
You
arguments.
doesn't understand the concept of 4-2-3-1, so we're going to explain it to him again.
Mate, I play
We'll get to
FIFA.
that part when we
But
get to
FIFA
it.
means you play 2 CDMs.
No, that's why you don't understand, because you play FIFA, not Football Manager. This is why you don't know
Yes.
why.
I also play football properly, and if I'm a cam and I've got 2 CDMs playing up further than me, I'm screaming at them.
No, that's not how it works, though. You don't just have a cam and then 2 CDMs.
Oh,
You have a cam,
if I'm playing,
they have 2
you better be
terminals.
staying back because I'm
One
not tracking
may be
back.
more of yeah, well, I know you don't. Do that. Bollocking. Listen, okay, let's just
Listen,
start.
the way
Can we
we're
start?
doing this, is you got the 4 at the back, you've got a 2 in midfield, 1 kind of more of an all-round midfielder, and 1 more of a defensive midfielder, and then left wing cam, right wing striker. That's how we're playing it.
Yeah.
So let's get started with our goalkeeper selections. And I think
This is going to cause some issues. I know already.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's start with you.
I've gone for Darlow.
Right. Okay. I did consider Darlow.
I considered Martinez,
Yeah.
but I looked at stats and stuff and the amount of saves that he's made, and I've gone for Darlow because he's made the most saves in the Premier League at the minute.
Has he? Has he actually?
That wouldn't surprise me. Newcastle, the way they play.
Yeah,
they
but
invite
the
so much
thing is,
pressure.
the thing is with that is like making the most saves in the Prem.
No, but
It's kind of a.
if you look at if you've watched the games and you've seen.
Leno had one of the most saves in the Prem last season, and that's because our defense was shocking. So I mean,
But
what does that
he's
say?
kept him in games. I think he has just been a class keeper for them. Martinez, it was close because Martinez is. I mean, they've kept the most clean sheets.
Yeah, so I said Martinez as my goalkeeper. I think he's been like against us. Oh my god, it was disgusting.
I also said
and-
Martinez.
He's been one of the he's contributed so well to Villa's success in the
Yeah.
Premier League so far. I mean, when you look at where Villa are, if you had whoever they had before in, I don't think they'd be in the position they were now.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that is probably down to him.
I'm 100% happy to go with Martinez. He was my second choice
Yeah.
anyway, and it
I
was
think-
close between the two.
It's a close one because they've both been like in a way difference makers for their team. Like Martinez has single-handedly won Villa games and drawn them games, and they wouldn't be flying so high without him. And at the same time, if Newcastle didn't have Darlow performing so well in goal, they'd probably be in the relegation zone. So
But Dubravka's apparently on his way back.
yeah, that's
So-
going to be interesting. It's almost going to be
Should be awkward.
like a Leno Martinez situation. you
Yeah,
know?
it is,
You've
it
got
is.
you've got your backup goalkeepers come in thanks to an injury and started playing out of his skin. Who do you play?
Yeah.
Particularly considering Dubravka was so highly rated when he was playing as well. So
Yeah.
it's
It'd be a
an
difficult
interesting-
I
one.
can see Darlow moving.
I mean,
He might even go.
see, I think, well, you were very much, you wanted Martinez to stay, didn't you, Jacob?
I did, yeah.
I'm very much off merit. I think if a player's played well the last game, they should earn a spot. It's typically the way Lampard works. Hudson-Odoi's getting a spot against a Villa. And I think that's the way it should go because if you've got to keep that momentum. And as soon as a player does badly, you take him out.
Yeah.
So if you've got someone that's competed, you want that competition because even if you get dropped out because you're not the other player has played well there, training sessions, every time you get a chance, you're going to play the best you can possibly play so that you stay in then. I think it's a good philosophy to go off, but I'm not a manager, so what I say doesn't really matter.
The only other name that, because it's interesting to think that really like the top teams, there's been no goalkeepers who are having like outstanding seasons. Like Alisson is, he's Alisson, he's a great goalkeeper, having a good season, but it's not been like insane.
Yeah, I think.
Other than that, like there's no keepers at the top sides who are having like outstanding seasons.
No, I mean, I think Mendy, if he would have carried on how he started, I think he would have been a big shout.
He would have been in more consideration, But I think I still would have gone with Martinez.
But he didn't.
Yeah, he's had a couple of mistakes that has kind of
but
shook him up a bit, but
the only other name that I actually wanted to mention was Leeds' goalkeeper, Meslier. I think he's actually had a really good season considering his age as well. He's really young. He's about 20 years old. And to just be thrust into the Premier League at that age as a goalkeeper isn't something that happens very often. and he has for the most part put in very composed performances, very good on the ball, and looks like a very, very talented young player who could go right to the top in a few years. So yeah, he was my other name, but I think are we all agreed on Martinez for the most part?
Yeah, Martinez is going into our team. So
okay. So
which side do you want to go for?
Right back. Let's go for
right back. Okay.
This is going to cause some debate.
I'm gonna be honest, right?
I actually wouldn't be shocked if we all went for 3 different people here.
I don't think we are, because I'm actually going to go with Reece James.
Okay.
I think Reece James
very obviously, Ewan has gone for Reece James.
I've gone for Reece. He's Reece James.
Chelsea.
No, but can I just say, it's not just for Chelsea. Look at what he did for the game with England. He was, apart from the red card at the end, he was on point for having man of the match. I personally think. I think he had a class game. So he's not just done it at that level, he's done it at international as well.
I think right now in the league, you'd have to say he's the most well-rounded right back. I mean, obviously, Alexander-Arnold, we can all say he's amazing going forward. But compared to his previous standards, he is having a bit of a down year. He's only got like 1 or 2 assists, I think. And defensively, I think Reece James is probably better. And he's also better at kind of getting up and down the pitch. He's obviously faster. And
his strength. If you hear interviews,
powerful.
Is because I think the thing is with Reece James, unlike Trent, Reece has played in the middle of the park. People want Trent to play in the middle, but obviously he hasn't done yet. So he's got that passing ability. He can fire across.
He's an amazing crosser,
and he's strong, and he's got that pace. I just.
Who did you say, Sam? You didn't say you said.
Well, basically, because I was fully aware that Ewan was going to pick Reece James, I decided to go for someone else just to have a little bit of competition. I think there've actually been quite a few really good right backs this season. I think Aurier's had a really good season.
I'd say that apart from the last game.
I mean, gave away a really stupid penalty in his last match. But Mourinho's kind of, for the most part, managed to iron that stupidity out and turn him into a very good defender who's also good going forward. Matty Cash at Villa, one of the signings of the season. He's been fantastic. And also, I think quietly, João Cancelo, been very good for City this season.
Yeah, I mean, this is... I'm not going to lie.
Do they play him in the right back position? Though?
Well, to be fair, he's kind of played left back and right back a mix, but I think he's made a big improvement from last season.
Yeah, I mean, this is me being completely oblivious to certain players. What happened to Tariq Lamptey?
He's been injured, I think.
Is he injured?
Injured, and then he had a red card, and he got injured. But before that, if
he'd got the same amount of game time as most of these other guys, I think he would definitely be a candidate. But he hasn't seen much of the ball in the last few weeks.
I mean, it's as a Chelsea fan, it's so disappointing that.
You didn't say.
I still.
Oh, sorry.
Actually,
I thought you already said it.
Because my actual choice in the end was Leicester's James Justin, who I think has been.
See, I've heard. I haven't actually watched the Leicester.
Is he not a left back
much this season?
So thing is, Leicester's fullbacks, they have, for the most part, starting. They have Castagna and Justin, who.
Oh, I thought Justin came in to replace Chilwell.
But they're both players who essentially can play left back and right back in equal measure. But it's for mostly the season, it's been Castagna left back and Justin at right back. I think Justin's been pretty outstanding. He's very good going forward, very fast, and defensively very solid. He's been a really important part of Leicester's very good season. And to be the fact that they haven't really missed Ricardo Pereira, who's a really outstanding right back.
One of the best right backs in the league.
Yeah, they haven't really missed him. I think that's a real credit to James Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd
rather not linger too much on every position, but I think we're going to agree with Reece James.
Look. If I wasn't entirely certain that Ewan was going to pick Reece James, then I probably would have picked him as well. So I probably would have picked him as well. So
mate, he's the best right back in the league. What can I say? I mean,
so yeah, Reece James
at the moment. So for right centre back, Ewan,
you're probably going to be able to guess it.
Let me guess. Is it Big Cat Zuma?
It is indeed. I mean, we said last season, or I've said last season, all he needs to be able to do is to head a ball in
He's doing it
a
now.
specific
He has been doing it.
direction. And that's not just in attack. He's scoring goals. Most
Yeah.
corners that come in, he's on it straight out. Having Thiago Silva with him, he's had, I think, maybe one, maybe two lapses of concentration, which most centre-backs have at some point.
They're much rarer now than they used to be for Zuma.
But I just think he's been solid. He's tight to his man. Not many people get past him, and he's quick.
He's quick now.
But I think he's been class this season. So yeah, I had to sneak him in.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, I can understand why. I had Zuma up there. I did end up changing my mind last minute because I thought about it. And I don't know, I think it's different to what you guys have said, but Eric Dyer has been...
I thought about it.
class
I thought about it.
since Mourinho's come in. I don't know what's happened, but him at centre-back, especially in the North and the Derby, was, oh my God, he was so good. We couldn't get... He stopped a one-on-one against Aubameyang and even in general, even though in the Europa League, I guess it's Europa League, but he was great. And I quite like him, especially with Tanganga, like next to him. Tanganga's quite young, he's new, but they haven't looked bad.
Yeah, Eric Dyer is a good...
Yeah.
but,
I did consider Eric Dyer as a shout. He probably was second or third in my ranking for this position, and Zuma was up there as well. But I went for a different player too, and I've gone for Fabinho because I think the fact that he's not even a centre back, he's a CDM who's been forced into that position by Liverpool's injury crisis, and he's performed so well that Liverpool, well, they haven't been.
Was he not in that
defensively
Was he not in that massive
I don't think
defeat?
he
No,
was.
no, he wasn't at centre back in that game. Van Dijk was still playing then.
Yeah.
Was Gomez though? Was it not?
I believe
I-
it was Van
I-
Dijk. and
I think it was Van
It
Dijk
was their
and Gomez,
better. They had a full healthy squad in that game.
Yeah,
okay.
but
Pretty much.
I think what Liverpool's defence has been far from perfect. It's the fact that it's been as good as it is without Van Dijk, I think, is a real credit to Fabinho. He's
Yeah, I
just
could agree
been
with
super solid. He's obviously from his experience playing as midfielder, he's very good at playing it out from the back and moving forward a bit with the ball. And it's more the fact that it's not even his natural position he's performing at this level. I think it's just super impressive.
But see,
Yeah.
my problem with Fabinho is a lot of times he's been caught not playing the defensive line. A lot of the goals that he's
Well, yes,
conceded,
CDM, isn't he? So
but
he's a CDM.
at the end of the day, he's playing in centre back. And when we're putting him as the team of the season so far, centre back. I agree in defensive one-on-one type situation is great, but at the end of the day, centre back isn't just about tackling; it's about keeping your line, not playing people on side, and he does do
Yeah,
it
but it's
quite
not
a
like
lot.
he's been terrible in that position, is it? He hasn't played badly as a CDM.
I mean,
as
I'm
a
not-
centre-back.
I'm not going to lie to you. This is the one position that I wasn't going to back down on.
Yeah.
Oof. So you really want to do Kurt Zuma?
Mate, he's his scoring as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
just,
you can't really talk about his goals.
we,
That's not his.
we,
thing.
we've
It's more about his
conceded
defensive
we've
thing.
conceded the second least amount of goals in the Premier League with him
Behind
on there,
who? Behind who?
behind Tottenham, I think it
Tottenham.
is.
Exactly.
I think it
He
is
plays for
Tottenham.
them.
I think it is Tottenham. Yeah.
Eric Dyer, yeah, it is Tottenham, yeah. And Eric Dyer is a part of that part of that group.
What would you play left
centre
centre back or right centre back? Can we squeeze him on the other side?
I believe he played. No, because
Because
the
we've
person
got-
left centre back.
I- I've got another shout for that spot who I haven't brought up yet. So
oh, lads.
Dyer.
But it's
Sam,
Tottenham, Jacob.
Sam. I know. Listen, it's not a trait. I'm not a traitor to say he's good. It's just
I feel
it's just a Sam, really.
Zuma's a beast.
I feel like I'm pretty much fighting a losing battle with Fabinho, so I'll accept that that's not going to win.
yeah.
Okay, so who was higher
so-
up, Zuma or Dyer in your list?
He said do both in two or
Tough
three.
one. Who's it going to be?
He was
said-
three. Drum roll, please.
I think that I'm going to go for Kurt Zouma because
Please.
they've both been really solid. But I do actually think you can't just rule out Zuma's goal scoring because he has. It's like a bonus, you know. It's like something you can add on to, like, you know, beat a couple of bonus points, and he has won Chelsea points this season with his ability in the air to win headers and score some crucial goals, and with his mobility and his strength at the back, it's tough because I also think Eric Dyer. As much as I've slated Eric Dyer every time we talk about England, he has been really good, and he was really good against.
No, it is a difficult one, that position.
But I'll go for Zouma. But
Fine,
I think
whatever. Let's do this.
let's move to the other centre back spot, which my selection. I think Ewan will agree with me.
I don't think I've gone for the same one. I'm not gonna lie.
Let him say it. Who is it? Who's your
Sam's definitely not gonna like it.
If Ewan hasn't gone for Thiago Silva, that's gonna be.
See, I haven't.
That's a cheeky one for Ewan because I've gone for Thiago Silva.
I've gone for Tyrone Mings. Oh, okay.
Oh my! I've gone for Gabriel, lads.
Oh, okay, right. Get out of
serious?
here. I'm not being funny. There was so many more that I could have picked.
I'm sorry. No, how does he get to say Thiago Silva and I can't say Gabriel?
No,
Okay,
I'm not.
that's fine.
I
I'm not
don't.
denying Gabriel's had a
Listen
good
to
season.
me.
I actually,
And he scores goals.
I put Gabriel
And he
in my
scores goals.
honourable mentions, but I don't
scores
think
goals.
he's been team of the
He
season level.
scores goals,
Because you look
guys.
look at the
Look where you are in the league, though, with how many
The
goals
amount
you've
of goals that
conceded.
Arsenal-
Scores goals.
No, but that's like a bonus point. Like I said,
No. Here's the thing, though. Here's the problem with that argument, though. Is that the games that we do poorly in, Gabriel usually isn't there. So, like...
yeah, but
like
he
Liverpool
has
usually
had
isn't there.
some bad games.
Oh, don't get me wrong. But so is Thiago Silva.
Yeah, no,
He
I
made a
agree.
mistake in his first game.
I agree. That's why I haven't put him there.
And Tyrone Mings, I mean, okay.
Look how defensive.
I
No,
don't
but
know.
look how
And he
defensively.
got, he got sent off. He got sent off today as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't take into account that.
you have to.
I did this before that happened.
The day before. Like,
I made this before that happened.
Right now.
But no, the reason it was between Konsa and Tyrone Mings.
I would rather have Konza. If I was going to
because-
choose an Aston Villa centre back, I'd rather have Konza.
I mean, Konsa has been class. I was stuck between the two, and I just went for Tyrone Mings. Every time I watch him, he seems the more verbal one. But
So you like him because he speaks loud.
yeah,
Does it?
but that's probably because he
He's
speaks
a lad
English.
done,
To be
so
honest,
he speaks English.
I mean,
he speaks loud, so
personally,
he needs to be my best centre back.
I will not have that because if let me tell you, if I brought Connor Cody to the table here, I would be shouted down. So,
Yeah, it would be. Just don't even
so-
try, bro. Sorry.
you know, Connor
Nah,
Cody's
but-
the loudest player in the league. So I'm not having it.
nah,
Yeah, but he also has that disgusting Scouse accent, so he's not.
it takes it away from him.
Look on the line! Look on the line! No, I'm sorry. No, they're not. Wow, that was. Is this thing on? Wow. Hello?
Hello,
Yeah.
sorry, I've just tried to search for the
Oh,
Premier
wow.
League.
You guys are there. My joke just wasn't very funny. Listen,
No, I've just tried to go
honestly,
onto the Premier League table and it's put Derby in there and Blackburn because it's on Premier League 2. So I'm trying to fix that to find out. Got a bit confused.
oh, he's getting the stats out. It's already over, isn't it? Really?
For Thiago Silva, is that I think if we're going to include Kurt Zouma, I think Thiago Silva's been the main impact that's turned Kurt Zouma into one of the league's
Oh
best
no,
defenders.
I agree. It's just
he's- 36
didn't wanna put-
years old, and I understand you wanted to not be so biased and not just go for a full Chelsea
I mean,
back line.
it's
like-
going to give away my left back, but I couldn't put a full Chelsea back for him.
Oh my god!
I couldn't do
Are
that.
you kidding me?
I just
It's a bit far, innit?
Other than that one moment on his debut where obviously he gave the ball away and West Brom scored off it, he's just like he's the picture of composure at the back, and he's just so like calm, collected. He's got all that experience, and he's still able to play in such a physical league. At
Yeah,
such a high
it is
level
impressive.
at 36, and
It is very impressive
You know,
what he can do.
I think more even so than Mendy. I think he's been the main reason that your defense has been so good this season.
No, I fully agree.
Bringing in that crucial bit of experience and leadership, I feel like it's made all the difference. And if anything, has been your most important signing of all your big money signings in the summer, all the money you spent. I feel like
the one that we didn't spend
your most important signing was that free transfer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
dwell on
an
impact.
I mean, I'd like to put him in there, but it'd look a bit dodgy if I did.
We're not putting him in. Stop talking about Thiago Silva. I refuse to have Thiago Silva in this squad.
Well,
because he isn't that good.
At the end of the day, it's my deciding vote, is it not? Is it not my deciding vote?
He's just okay. He really is just okay.
No,
listen
on.
to me. Listen.
No,
There are better centre backs than this guy that are more consistent. Look how good John Stones has been this season.
He was up there. He was up there with me.
He's been good this season. I'd rather have John Stones over.
I mean,
I think.
What do you think of Konsa?
I think Laporte's a better centre back than.
Yeah, but Laporte hasn't played a lot.
That's the problem.
I think there are plenty of people who are better centre backs, but I feel like the impact that Thiago Silva has made, like this is about this season and the improvement that Chelsea have seen in their defence thanks to Thiago Silva. I feel like it's so huge.
Yeah, I mean the problem. I looked at Man City defenders. I looked at the stats, and a lot of the Man City defenders haven't played more than 6 games or 7 games. John Stones is on 6.
I don't want to talk about it. Just put Fabinho in.
Fabinho in.
I mean,
I'll accept that.
Yeah. Sorry, Ian, you lose.
Konsa, man.
all right, left back. So Fabinho.
Okay, so we've got a Fabinho. After all that, we've gone for Fabinho and Zuma.
I don't know what's.
Congratulations.
Fair enough. Let's
Right.
move on to left back.
I've already told you my left back.
We're going.
Yeah, we know Ewan's.
Chilwell.
Looking at Ben Chilwell.
What has he done?
Scored.
Before we say no,
Defended.
Yeah, just tell me what he's done.
But he scored and defended.
He scored a goal. Wow. So was Kieran Tierney.
He scored more than one goal.
I was gonna say Kieran Tierney, but you guys are gonna argue against it because
You can't put. You
Actually,
can't
to be
put
fair,
an Arsenal defence in.
I considered Tierney, but the main reason that I didn't really think about Tierney too much is not because he hasn't been good this season. It's because he's played a lot as a left centre back rather than a left back.
Yeah.
He's played in part of a back three, so I feel like you can't really justify including him at left back over a couple of the other left backs who've been really
Sam,
impressive this
who
season.
have you gone for?
I've gone for Andy Robertson.
So
I mean, I'm happy with
just
Andy Robertson.
so
Mine was
clear.
between Chilwell. Mine was between Chilwell.
No, Ewan. The problem is that Andy Robertson is just so. He's
Oh
so
no,
good.
I
He's
agree.
clear.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
I agree.
So you
but-
lose.
No,
So it's Andy Robertson. It's Andy Robertson.
Well, yeah,
All right,
sure.
thank you.
We'll go with that
All
one
right.
then.
Can
I'm
we
not
go to
gonna-
CDM now?
Can I just say I
Enough.
also want to give a quick shout out to Sergio Reguilon. Spurs have been really good. But,
Yeah, except he got sent shots on his
Left back. We've got left back for days in the Prem at the minute.
Or was that Tellers? Was it regular? He was regular and got sent shots.
Yeah. No. I know what you're on about, but he's been really good. He's been really good, but yeah,
Let's move
Robertson
on.
I think has been just clear everybody this season.
Yeah. Let's move on to CDM,
Yeah.
and we
It's been
can
an interesting one.
we can finish with my biasness.
Yeah.
Kante is my last one.
Kante's your last Chelsea player. That's good to hear.
Kante has been good. He didn't do very well yesterday, but
He just mops up everything. Like, I mean, in the Wolves game, his second half was because he was so tired, but he mopped up everything that first half. No one could do anything.
He's got back to his best for a lot of this season, and at his best, he's the best. He's best team in the world, isn't he? So. Yeah, it's hard to argue against him.
I'd say him or Diet, or it's not Diet, Rice. Sorry, I think Declan Rice.
Yeah, I mean,
Rice has been really good.
For West Ham. West Ham are doing
the
so
three.
well.
The three I had was Kante, Rice, and Allen.
To be fair, I'll just come out and say this. I completely forgot about N'Golo Kante.
Do you know who
I put Allen in
as well?
because I think Allen has been
absolutely
great. Top class.
I think as well people are sleeping on Decore. Decore has been
I would like to talk about Decore in the slightly more attacking midfield position rather than as an out-and-out CDM. Because I think Decore is a lot more well-rounded. But if we're talking purely as a defensive player, I feel like Alan really has been the anchor of that Everton midfield, and whenever he's been out, they look a lot more open. Although not as open as they could do, which is credit to Decore, who's stepped up in those situations. But I feel like Alan is, just his pure volume is similar to Kante in that he's just everywhere constantly making tackles and just picking up the ball and then just recycling possession.
Yeah,
So I think he's similar to Kante in that regard, but I will admit that Kante is on kind of another level in that regard.
I mean, I'm still going for Kante, but we got to give as much as it hurts me, we got to give an honourable mention to what the heck's his name? McTominay. Recently he's been.
I'd put McTominay fairly forward.
But I'm Kante.
I can't disagree. I can't.
I did have someone else, but I've lost my team now, so I can't remember who I
Sorry,
put.
Sam. I think you've lost this one again, to be honest.
No, I just forgot about Kante when I was writing my team, to be honest. And if I'd remembered him, I would have put him in. So I'm perfectly happy going with Kante. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, so Kante. I'm not going to lie, I've lost one of my players, so yeah.
So we move on to as central
number
midfielders, number 8 kind of role. So I did mention Decore in this role, though he's not. Yeah, it wasn't my final choice, but he was up there because he's really just so well rounded. He contributes a lot in attack, in the build up play. He's really kind of embodies that box to box role. And like I said, Alan's had a few games out this season with injury because he's getting on a bit. And in those games, Decore has really stepped up and done a bit more defensive work. So, along with a few of the other guys mentioned, I think he's been one of the signings of the season. But my choice has been Pierre-Emile Højbjerg for Spurs.
I was looking at him as well, to be honest.
He has just been, for one thing, 15 million, what an absolute bargain. He's just been immense in their midfield. He's the ultimate Mourinho midfielder because for what he's technically very good. I don't know if anybody's completed more passes in the league than him this season. He has a ridiculously high number of passes per game, but it's really his defensive contribution that, along with that, and his willingness to just break up everything and then be able to, bring the ball forward once he's won it and keep the play going and start attacks. I think he's been absolutely top class.
I've just found my team and I put him in as well. So.
All right, fair enough.
I struggle with him. I did want to put an honourable mention out to Ward-Prowse because.
I agree.
Good season.
In the madness, his free kicks this season, I think it's got 4 or 5 free kicks this season.
Yeah.
Already, and he's still going, and he's got better assists as well. So, and his corners, he's just the ultimate set piece taker, and even on the pitch normally, he's found some great passes, and defensively he's been solid. I know he made us look bad against when he played us. So.
But
Ward-Prowse.
Well, it looks like 2v1
right.
is Højbjerg, so we'll chuck him in there.
And just a couple of honourable mentions, players who are kind of performing well at struggling clubs. And Gieser at Fulham kind of has been their best player, I think, by a pretty clear distance.
Yeah.
Conor Gallagher on loan from Chelsea at West Brom.
He's been
having
class.
A really good season.
I haven't seen much of him.
I think he might even be their top. I think he might honestly be their top goal scorer.
I don't know about top goal scorer, but he's there. He's probably one of the first names on the team sheet at the minute.
Yeah,
I'd say
he's a real box to box player. Works hard, gets around.
Is he going to get to Chelsea though?
And
not.
Yeah,
I don't think
not.
at the minute.
But yeah, he's a real all rounder, and probably West Brom's best player. And Bissouma at Brighton, who I also think has been very good.
I've liked Bissouma for quite a while though.
He's I think been pretty underrated the last couple of years at Brighton, and this season he's starting to get a bit more recognition, which is good, and showing a bit more consistency. And it's just a shame that Brighton aren't a bit further up the table, which they probably deserve to be.
No, they don't. They deserve nothing. I hope they get it.
Okay.
Especially Mopé.
But anyway,
to be fair. I know
moving on
you hate Mopé.
But moving on to Cam. I think
it's
this.
a really good debate.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this is all three of us are gonna say.
Pretty easy. This one. I mean, I I could have done a similar thing that I did with Reece James and just thrown someone else in there.
Yeah,
for
it's
debate,
obviously,
but
It's obviously
William.
Mount.
It's obviously
It's
William,
obviously-
right?
No,
Yeah,
Mason Mount.
Yeah. Why did we both tell the same joke?
Yeah, it's Bruno Fernandes.
What? No, Mount.
Shut up, you.
What?
It's Bruno
No,
Fernandes.
I've gone for Bruno. I've gone for Bruno.
I mean,
he's just been crazy, isn't it? He's 23 games.
I don't like him.
12 assists and I think 9 goals and things. He's been,
yeah.
His stats are crazy either way.
One of the top goal scorers in the league and one of the top assisters in the league.
I mean, he's taking bad penalties. We can't really.
Yeah, but if you take away
I don't think
the
he's
penalty,
taken that many this season, has he?
I think it's probably like 4 or 5 penalties. And if you take that away, that's still like, I don't know, 6 or 7
he's still
goals
killing.
and over 10 assists. It's like, he's out of this world right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 10 goals and how many assists. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's on 10 goals at the minute.
In terms of, again, just a couple of people who deserve to be mentioned, if Bruno's been pretty clear from them, but although
6 assists.
in terms of goals and assists, De Bruyne has been a bit down. But if you actually watch his performances and you look at the stats as well, he's still
He's
putting up,
misplacing quite a few
ridiculous-
passes.
He still
though.
has
He's
the
still-
most. He still has the most assists in 2018 in the league. So.
Yeah, but you look at the
Yeah,
actual stats he's putting up. Still the most key passes I think in the league, and
Yeah,
loads of
he
shots.
is-
Because Buendia
He's-
got relegated.
He
And
is
at the end
starting
of
to
it, he's
misplace some passes though.
Yeah, and like I said, obviously he's been a bit below his usual level in terms of end product, but he's also been a bit unlucky, I think, to not have more assists.
Maybe this is what we're going to
City's
start to see
finishing
now,
in general.
How old is he now? 30, 31?
But I think maybe 28. I don't
No,
think he's in
not
his
that young.
30s.
He's not that young. He's not that young.
I'll have a look.
Ewan, you start man.
Okay,
Find this
Ewan-
out. I'm
Ewan's
pretty
the-
sure. I swear he's turning 30.
He may be turning 30, but I'm
I'm
pretty sure he's not 30. But also James Rodriguez at Everton.
yeah.
Really, I mean, started the season amazingly. Had a couple of injuries since, and he's dropped off slightly, but still one of the signings of the season, and he's been really, really good. And then, Ross Barkley, who has been an absolutely class signing for Villa.
I had an argument with a friend about Ross Barkley, so I'm not allowed to say anything, man.
Okay, well,
But
we won't stick on him too long because at the end of the day, I haven't put him in the team. But
yeah,
he's
so
been a really good signing.
let's move over to let's go. Well, I say right mid. I haven't actually put right mid in the team,
Yeah,
which doesn't make any sense. I've put 2 left mids in.
I reckon I can
I
guess
know.
who both of them are, and I kind of see why you've done it because you kind of feel like
You're
you
so
have to have
predictable, Ewan.
both of them in.
So bait. So
I don't know if you do. I'll tell you the first one. I've put in right mid, Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I thought you were going to say.
Putting him in right mid. Okay. Yeah, okay. You just thrown me off now. For my right mid, who's my right mid? Hang on.
Don't know, who is it?
Surely it's Mo Salah. Come on,
See, I put him in, but I didn't want to put him
it
in.
wasn't Salah.
how is it not Mo Salah?
Listen, I know.
Top scorer in the
Mohamed
league.
Salah is good. Oh no, it was Mo Salah. Okay, yeah, it was Mo Salah.
No, I can
And then
I thought
realised
it was
it's wrong.
Mo Salah,
Like,
but it was Mo Salah.
I can accept
So-
it. I can accept it fully, but I just wanted to put in Grealish because of
yeah,
both
I
internationally
fully
and
get that. I mean, I would say if we were gonna talk about player of the season so far, I reckon the top 5. I reckon Grealish is in the top 5, but the problem for me is that the 4 guys ahead of him are the 4 guys that I've included as my left wing cam, right wing, and striker. So it feels because I've left him out, and it feels so harsh to leave him out, particularly after I watched the highlights of their game against whoever it was they played yesterday, Crystal Palace, and like they were a man down, but he was absolutely shredding their defence. I mean,
yeah.
Ollie Watkins could have scored about 1 billion goals if his finishing wasn't having an off day. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
happy
do
to
feel
go with
really,
Salah.
I do feel really harsh to leave him out, but I don't think you can leave Mo Salah out. He's got 13 goals, 13 games, I think, or maybe 14
Yeah,
games.
I'm more than happy to put in Salah instead.
It's crazy. So on the left,
On the left, I think we've all gone for Son, I'm presuming.
Yeah, I've gone Son.
Yeah,
Grealish,
no debate
just
there. The guys have been unbelievable.
Oh my god.
So now for the striker.
See, I've 100% gone for someone different.
Okay.
If you put Werner, you haven't. You wouldn't have. There's
No,
there's no way you have.
I've put
There's
Calvert-Lewin.
no way it's a Chelsea player.
You've gone for Calvert-Lewin. I think that's
I
that's
can
a
agree
fair
with you.
shout.
Like, I understand why
It's a
you've
fair
done
shout.
it, but I mean, Kane is obviously clear.
The thing is, he is, but the amount that, like, I'm not gonna lie. I think I've actually gone for more improvement of how much they've upped it this season. If you look at like a lot of the players,
That's not the whole, that's
no,
not
I know, no, but you've still got to put Calvert-Lewin in the conversation this year. I mean, he was leading goal
Oh, for
scorer
sure.
for Europe for how many weeks?
Yeah. DCL was second, I think, for me, behind Kane. I feel like the reason that I put Kane above DCL is just because of he's more all-rounded in the day. Calvert-Lewin is a pure poacher, and he's one of the best headers of the ball I've ever seen. His leap is insane. It's Ronaldo-esque. But compared to Kane, Kane offers so much goal scoring wise, but also
his finishing
his
is unmatched.
Do you know what's annoying though? We've got these
season,
strikers, like we've got English strikers like this, best in Europe type thing. We won't score that many goals when it comes to international break.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
It's crazy actually that you've pointed that out. I hadn't noticed it before, but I've written down quite a few strikers just as honourable mentions, and so many of them are English. I never thought about it before. Bamford, Callum Wilson, Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins,
Southgate is a
Calvert-Lewin,
fraud.
Jamie Vardy, Harry Kane. We have so many top class strikers.
You're missing the most important
It's
one.
Southgate. Don't say Tammy Abraham.
Tammy
You said
Abraham?
already. No, didn't you say Tammy Abraham?
Nah,
No,
I
I
haven't
didn't say
played him.
Tammy Abraham, but
He hasn't
Southgate is a
played
fraud.
enough.
Say it with me. Southgate is a
Oh
fraud.
no, he is.
Southgate
But
is a
with-
fraud.
this isn't about
He's not
Southgate.
good enough.
yeah.
It is.
We have slated Gareth Southgate
We've slated
so
him.
many times on this
Yeah,
podcast.
but
I don't think we need to go into our views on him
Something
again.
tells me that this podcast isn't.
To be honest,
I presume
to be
you're going with
honest-
Kane,
To be honest, I don't want to think about Gareth Southgate until the next international break at the very least. So it's just.
I take it we're going with Kane then.
Yeah, I think we
Oh, I
are.
thought we were going with Bamiyang. What?
Obama who? Obama what?
Oh, you're so funny.
But anyway,
Don't let me get. I will get all screenshots of all the Mrs. Werner's made because it's disgusting.
Anyway,
it's bad.
I found
we were
a video
talking
of
about
that, it's great.
we were
Yeah,
talking
yes,
about Southgate. The last position is the manager. Who is your manager of the
Oh,
team of the
yes, yes,
season
again.
so far?
No. I want to hear yours first.
I'm backing my guy. I'm
You
backing
can't
him
say
again.
Lampard.
Jose Mourinho. I said him
okay,
last
okay,
time.
okay.
I'm saying
Do
him
you know
again.
what? Do you know what? Last time, right, I actually
I
got
was
a lot of
so
stick for making
worried.
fun of Mourinho.
I was so
I-
worried when you were going to say Lampard. I'm not going to
Oh
lie.
God, no. I don't think it's a
Our
class
last
manager,
11
bro. He's not
listen,
been better
Our
than
last
Mourinho.
11 is like one of our most viewed videos
Yeah.
in a long time. And a lot of people were like, how can you slate Mourinho like this? And then a month later, Mourinho was slapping us up at the Emirates.
See, the thing is,
And
it's
this and
like when we made that video months ago. You couldn't. I don't think Mourinho justified inclusion in that conversation yet.
Yeah.
Now he does because they've
Yeah.
kept it up for nearly half of the season now, and they're still in the title race. They've got the best defense in the league. They are truly elite at parking the bus. And they've also got they're making he's made the most of two of the best attackers in the league, and he's
Yeah, I mean,
been the
did you
the
guys
first
do?
time in quite a while that Son and Kane have properly reached the levels that they can do, particularly Kane. He's had a couple, almost maybe 2 years now of being slightly off his best, and now he's absolutely back on it. So you have to give a lot of credit to Mourinho there.
Did you guys
Yeah, my
put?
dad gave me a big lecture about Mourinho, so I have to. He's turning my head now, so I'm going to agree with you that Mourinho is probably the best manager currently. We'll do another 11 at the end of the season. Don't get excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think Klopp is very close.
I actually think Klopp is still a better manager. Partly because
I can't.
But
I don't know.
because the difference is we're not doing what we did last time was our current best. Not team of the season is purely about the quality of performances this season, and what Mourinho's done with this team this season arguably warrants more. It's arguably more impressive than what Klopp has done this season. Even though you absolutely have to give so much credit to him for getting so much defensively out of so little. I mean, if you look at, he's having to work with, youth players and players who've never played in that position before, and he's had so many injuries, and yet Liverpool still have one of the better defences in the league. But yeah, Mourinho, his transformation of Spurs and turn them into title challengers, I think, probably warrants him being so far the manager of the season.
Yeah. Cool. Wow.
All right, well done.
So if
Mourinho wins it.
I'm going to quickly just go over who we've picked then that I think I've got right. We'll go from goalkeeper. Goalkeeper Martinez, right back Reece James, centre back Zuma, left centre back Fabinho, left back is Robertson.
I don't know how that's happened, but yeah.
Because I just gave it to you because you wanted to be Thiago Silva.
Centre backs are our bogey. Look what happened last time, but we move. So CDM is Kante, centre mid is Højbjerg, Cam is Bruno, right mid or right wing Salah, left mid / left wing Son, and up top Kane with the manager of Jose Mourinho.
Imagine Mourinho managing that actual team.
It's a heck of a team.
Jeez. Champions League winning 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it makes me laugh that we got Zuma in that equation. It just doesn't quite add up.
It doesn't seem right, does
Zuma, it? If you said Zuma 3 years ago, or even last year,
6
Zuma
months
is the
ago,
best
mate.
centre back in the league currently, you'd be like, what is this?
I mean, see, that's credit to Thiago Silva. He's turned him into Thiago Silva.
You got Fabinho.
Thiago Silva's a better manager
I gave you
Fabinho.
Please stop talking about Thiago Silva. I gave you Fabinho. We can take it. I can take it back.
No.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
I'm just saying. The quote of the day from this podcast: Thiago Silva is a better manager than Frank Lampard. That's it.
Hey, get out of here. I'm not having that.
Thiago Silva is the real manager. Frank Lampard's just the assistant.
Well, on that absolute rubbish, I think that's the end of our podcast.
End it on that high note there. Thank you guys for listening. Great podcast.
Yeah, go. There'll be a link in the description for our Twitter. Sam's the main person on it, so he'll be tweeting out and stuff.
Statman Sam.
Yeah, well, no, I'm Statman, you and me. So,
you just Google things. Calm down.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
How old is Kevin? Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Bye.
Cheers for watching, guys. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.